Welcome to episode 6 of BroHawks, a sports podcast. The date is May 20th. I am your host, Casey P, along with my good friend and co-host, D-Dubs. How's it going?
Way worse now. That was awful. All of it.
Well, last intro I messed up, and you said it was probably the worst one yet, so that was kind of more
topped
energy.
You topped it.
That's like...
The worst one.
Okay. What made it bad?
All of it. Every part of it. And I don't like that D-Dubs keeps happening.
You can get back to the first episode. You said, you can call me that.
I don't, at least,
There's
I
video
don't like
evidence.
it. I don't like it.
Come up with a better name. Not
Derek is my name. And that's a pretty good one.
I literally just said, not Derek.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't come up with that one.
See, I'm KCP. We got Cody G.
Yeah, Derek W.
Ryan McEmails. Everybody has nicknames on this channel.
KCP is not a nickname. Cody G is not a nickname.
It's like a radio nickname. Like
Okay, Derek W.
that doesn't flow, though. That's
Or
why
Derek.
Ryan's not
Or
Ryan M.
DW.
Ooh, DW is getting somewhere. Boy plays short into like D-Dubs. And it's like a play on words, like, 'cause like you're winning the Dubs.
I think we've already explained the name.
Mm-hmm.
It still isn't liked.
So what have you been up to, buddy?
Nothing too much. It's only been a few days since we
Yeah.
last did this, so it's been a pretty normal week. Nothing crazy. Yeah, I haven't done really anything, to be honest with you.
No, that's fair. Yeah, it's only been a few days since we've done this. We were actually talking before we started, and it's probably going to be a short episode in general because there's not a whole lot. And NFL is the main thing you talk about, and there's not much happening in the NFL. So
No.
might be a real short episode, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
So we can start with MLS,
Sure.
and that is, we talked last episode about the crew meeting with the supporters group
Mm-hmm.
and a potential name change and logo change. And by the time I upload the episode, the announcement already became official that they changed the team name and altered the logo,
Jesus.
which I am shocked by because I said last time that's what I was hopeful for, but it's a corporation. When they make these kind of decisions, they don't just go away like this. So they not only went away from Columbus SC, they just removed the SC altogether because they were a Columbus Crew, and then they rebranded like probably 7 years ago now to Columbus Crew SC.
Yep.
And then this new potential name was Columbus SC, which was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't believe that not only did they go back to the Crew, they just removed the SC altogether, which was not even their name the last 7 years. So I'm thrilled about that because, like I said, the name was a bigger thing for me.
Where's the source coming from?
The Crew themselves, they put out a big statement.
Okay.
They even altered the logo. There's not much of alteration. I did like the logo that was before this. So I'm not gonna be like we talked about with Crew fans where I'm just like, yep, this is all the best news ever. I think the logo they had before this is still a better logo, but they did alter it very slightly. But the alteration they made was the biggest criticism I had was that stupid ass random triangle at the bottom. They swapped that out with the 96, which is the year the Crew started. Yep, that's it. And then I guess the biggest alteration is instead of SC at the bottom it says Crew, but that's kind of implied. So
What a way to stick to their guns.
I'm happy
Pansies.
for it. Oh no, I love it because,
I'm sure you do.
like I said, not even just because I didn't like the name, but it shows that they are listening. I think it's kind of weird that how fast they did change it. So they said they met with them before, and they're like, yeah, you're going to get a ton of backlash. So if they cared about that and realized it, I don't know.
Maybe they thought people would be open up to it.
I just don't know how you don't recognize that, though, unless it was coming from the league or the Haslams are part owners. The
Browns people?
Yep. So I don't know if they were kind of making the decisions and not realizing.
Maybe. They make some bad decisions sometimes.
Yeah, not realizing how That'd be like changing the Browns' name in Cleveland, even though that would be fine by me because I think it's one of the worst names in the league. But I don't see how they couldn't see that would matter.
Maybe they thought the wider audience would cling to it better. Like, obviously, their internal diehards are going to not like it. But maybe the wider... Because that's what we talked about last time. It appeals to global.
Well, that's...
better.
I thought more about that. Yeah, I think that was definitely what they were saying. And we talked about if it's worth losing 8,000 fans to gain 14,000.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's obviously hypothetical. And the more I thought about it, I was like, that just doesn't make any sense. Because if nobody cared about the Columbus Crew, then what's going to make them care about Columbus SC? What's going to excite them about that? I mean, I get you could find certain people, but
yeah, you always get new fans if you go global with more stuff.
I don't know. I just feel like Columbus Crew is a recognizable brand around the globe, which is nuts because, like I said, you'll find people that come from overseas and don't even know who the Buckeyes are, which is unthinkable here. But that just shows how soccer is. And I think I said name it Columbus SC. If you're overseas and you look up Columbus and see there's like 15 in the United States, I think that would make you 10 times more confused on what's happening.
Yeah. I see why they do it. I think that it is the more globally accepted thing is to do the SC or the FC. But if they tried it for a little bit and it wasn't accepted, then go back to what does work. I could see why they did both.
Yeah, I try and stay open-minded. Like I said, the more I thought about it, the more I just can't believe it.
It's okay. You don't have to. It's reverted.
I know. I think it's interesting thinking about it and why businesses make decisions, and I just don't get this one at all.
Gotta try to expand. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I don't think you had to, though. That's the confusing part, because
you always gotta try to expand. You don't have to, but you gotta try to. Anything you can try to do to get more recognition. They're not known everywhere. They're very widely known, but if you can get a few more people, try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And it didn't work.
Damn right, didn't it? Columbus Crew, buddy.
Yeah, woo.
I just can't. It is woo.
I'm starting to dislike them.
Are you?
Yeah, the more it's happening.
Why? So like I said, I think even if you say it's different because football doesn't do it, MLS didn't really do this either. This is a European thing. They're trying to Europeanize it. Mm-hmm. So it's not really a American or a soccer thing because soccer isn't overseas. It's football.
But we talked about them maybe doing it with other places, right? Because other places are doing the SC thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying that wasn't a normal thing in the league. They're starting to do that, so they're trying to Europeanize it. Yeah, so that's not a normal thing even in this league or in this country in general.
Unless they are trying to do it eventually. Maybe they're just trying to get ahead of the curve.
Well, I think they are trying to. I just think that's silly.
Maybe.
And I think that takes all the excitement out of cool names, and not just because I like the Crew. They've done it with other teams, and all of them get more and more boring and bland the way they do it. Like the Montreal team used to be the Impact. I don't like them, but that's a pretty cool name. And now they're Club de Football Montreal. I'm like, that sounds...
That makes sense. The French thing. Canada.
Yeah, but Canadians also like cool names. They're not...
Yeah, but I think that's a business thing, too. What's more marketable? Impact or Football Club? Montreal.
I think probably Impact.
I don't know. I think that goes to a fewer range of people. I don't think that's a very cool name at all.
Oh, I think it's an awesome name. Like I said, you might think I'm just defending the Crew, but I don't like Montreal, and I think it's a way better name. Yeah. I think if every team just becomes their city in 2 letters before or after, I think it's the most boring thing possible. I can't think of anything more bland.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't watch sports for the names.
Oh, that's definitely part of it for me, I won't lie. Obviously, I have way more of a connection to it than the name now, but as a kid, that's the main thing I think that attracted me was colors and team names, because I feel like that makes sense when you're a kid. That's what you see. And then as you get older, that I feel like that becomes attachment. Like I said, if the Seahawks changed their name, even if they didn't just do like the football club, because you said that's different because it's football, if they just rebranded to like the Seattle Warriors, I think you'd be like that.
Now I would. But I would still like the team.
I was going to follow the Crew, but...
I didn't pick the Seahawks as their name.
But wouldn't you be confused and upset if they changed it to something random like that out of nowhere, especially with all the momentum and no real reason to change it.
But if the rest of the league is starting to do it, like, oh, they'll eventually have to do it anyway. Might as well just get it over the way. I wouldn't be pumped about it, no. But if that's the way the league was going, what does it matter?
It matters how you gotta make your stand, you know?
What does
So
my stand have to do with it?
obviously, it has something to do with it. You can be like, yeah, but fans don't make a difference. But obviously, it did. Because
My stand doesn't make a difference. Thousands of people's stands make a difference.
Yeah, but
And I don't care enough to make the stand.
that's criminal.
That's why I don't like politics. I don't care enough to stand on one side or the other.
Well, that's it.
And that's way even more important, arguably.
Definitely arguably, because crews are far more important than politics.
I think that's what all this is to me. It's like it just doesn't matter.
That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
The Seahawks have changed their name a couple times. No, they haven't. They changed their stadium name a couple times.
I was gonna say, I thought they were always the
No,
Seahawks.
they had a fan vote. They were the Seahawks. I think they were going to be the Kings or something at one point. That's kind of a cool name too, though. Seattle Kings. It's not as cool as Seahawks, but
Yeah, I think it goes with the city.
yeah, the stadium is called the Kingdome.
That sounds inappropriate.
It does when you do that. Yeah.
So here's a debate I'm having.
Okay, I love debates.
Well, this is like an internal debate.
Okay.
I decided in my head when they did this rebranding, I wasn't gonna buy a single piece of it because of Columbus SC.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to support that. Because the more you support that, the more they're gonna be like, yeah, people are liking this. It doesn't matter if people are speaking up. We're making money.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't give a shit what people are saying. But now they made their decisions. They made it right for the most part. Like I said, it's not perfect for me, but I don't think they were going just for me, and I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So now this merchandise is still floating out there, not like on eBay or something. It's still on MLS's website, which is funny because they have gear for Columbus SC, but not Columbus Crew
Mm-hmm.
or Columbus. Well, they have gear for Columbus Crew SC and Columbus SC, but not the current team, which is funny. Have two of them and not the right one.
Yeah.
But my debate is some of this SC gear I think would be kind of cool to have because I imagine within a month or so they're not going to be selling it on there.
Definitely not.
I can't believe it's still on there now, actually, even. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have it. And like I said, I didn't hate it as much as most people did to begin with the logo aspect of it. I just thought it would be cool as a secondary logo. And the biggest issue I had was that stupid-ass triangle. So I'm having an internal debate now if this stuff, if I should get a couple things.
Definitely sounds like the exact opposite of everything you just said. Supporting it even in the slightest sounds like we go against almost everything you just said. I see why you would want to do it, but even, I don't know, that feels a little weird. See, that's where I differ too. See, the other thing is, I wouldn't trust anything at this point. I would wait until a while, because they've changed the name twice now. Oh, but there's listen to the fans. It's going to stay this way. I guarantee it. Maybe. Probably.
Yeah,
but it could change.
Oh, it could, and I'm not naive. I know stuff can happen, but like I said, that was the weird thing about this. It was so opposite of everything they've handled throughout this.
Yeah.
That I feel like the fact they reverted on it like this is a sign that it is going to stay that way. And
yeah, we'll see.
maybe I didn't explain it well enough. I don't think it's complete opposite of what I said.
I think supporting it does go against what you just said.
Yeah, but now anybody buys this stuff is going to be minimal. That's not going to make a difference as far as their rebranding.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, so I feel like buying it now isn't like supporting that brand identity, because I think the new identity is what it is. So now I think it's kind of just like a collector's piece, like buying something Redskins or anything that is not of this time anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know though.
It's just like a 1 week trial period piece of shirt. Maybe, I don't know. I guess it's up to your fandom. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out. I'll keep you guys updated. And then
see that what I would do is wait for them to change the name, and then I would replace all my. If Seahawks changed the name, I would replace all my stuff with the new thing.
See, I couldn't do that unless
I would keep the old stuff, but like I would have to get something new.
I would if I was jacked about like the new stuff, like the Columbus Crew, even though it's a small change. I'm like, that's exciting, and I want to support that. But
so if the Broncos changed their name, you would never buy a new Broncos jersey?
I don't know. It would be hard for me to even like them at that point.
Wow, That's crazy.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's crazy in reverse. I can't
Because of a name?
Yeah, it's such a part of the team identity and who they are, and what it means to community.
Oh man, I think that's the city, the players. They know players come and go, but they build like a presence there. It's the culture. It's the performance. It's the name. Just what's on the helmet. I like everything else that's happening.
Oh, I think it's all of that. But I think the name is part of that and a big part of it.
That's weird.
Like I said, I'm not saying I'd never be okay with a rebranding. If it was something that happened and I was like, yeah, this is fucking awesome and I get it, then I'm not going to have an issue with it. Just 'cause overall, I don't like that as a concept. Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, rebranding makes more sense if a team's struggling and trying to revitalize itself.
What happens if the Reds change the name to the Cincinnati baseball team?
Oh, no, I'm fucking...
You wouldn't like him anymore?
No.
Wow.
Especially if they did something that boring.
Wow. Something you've been tied to your whole life because they got rid of the word Reds.
Yes.
You would stop liking them.
Because if that happened, it wouldn't be that they're rebranding. It'd be some bullshit about... You're talking about, I know in politics, that would definitely be a political or a social thing. If they got rid of it. To just name a baseball team, it definitely would.
Oh, maybe they like the FT. Maybe they'll start doing that. The Seattle FT.
Yeah, that sounds great.
The Seattle BT.
No, thank you.
Seattle BC Baseball Club.
This world can be boring enough. We don't need to make sports boring, too.
It's a good thing the sport's not boring. Just the name might be. Sport will be the same.
So going to a game, part of the experience is definitely the energy and the announcing and the PA announcer. Mm-hmm. So you don't think that takes away from anything? Welcome, you're Columbus Soccer Club.
Every team has a nickname. They would still be called the Crew when he did that. Your Columbus Crew.
Then why rebrand?
Because they just need to make it marketable. It's a business. Make it the Seattle football team, but they're still called the Seahawks is the nickname. Your Seattle football team, the Seahawks.
No. I'm not about this.
It's so much. Yeah, okay. We just differ. That's crazy to me. It's so much more than a name. That's why all the Redskins fans are still Redskins fans. They're just Washington football team fans now.
Yeah, but there's plenty of fans that don't root for them now. Because and I totally get it.
They say that. They're still watching it every week.
There are some of those. There's definitely
still checking it on their phone. They keep up with the team.
There is some, but there's definitely people that just gave up. And not because...
I bet that number is very little. That have no tie to it. Like I love this team since I was a child. Don't even check the score.
I don't think so, because I think those are people that would be most affected by it. Because not, our team name's different. I'm pissed off. It's a point that how mad they are that their team name got pushed aside.
I don't think it's that. That's crazy. Okay. I don't see that at all. I bet that number's tiny.
I don't think so.
I bet that they have an app on their phone that still gives them an update on the score of the football team.
There's definitely those people. I'm not saying that.
I think that's a majority of the people that stopped. I think there's a very small percentage that don't look at it at all. Because if it's been one of the biggest things in your life since you were a kid, you don't just cut that off because of a name change.
But you do if you feel like.
So you wouldn't even check the Cincinnati baseball team score. You wouldn't have alerts for it.
Obviously,
like, the Reds, the baseball team scored.
See, that sounds beyond boring, but
Cincinnati scored. That's the same thing you hear now.
But obviously, it's hard to say until it happens, so I'm not going to take a hard stance, but I would imagine how I feel now. No, I don't think I would. Because if I was a Redskins fan...
I don't believe you for a second.
If I was a Redskins fan, I would hate them now. Not just like, I promise you.
That's fine. I don't believe
like I say, I'm not just against rebrands or changes in general, but something like that is such...
See, I see that one's even more accessible, more reasonable. Because it wasn't like your idea to change it. You were canceled into changing it. Like, they didn't do it.
Pissed me off, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It wasn't up to them.
Yeah, but that's how the shit happens and why it becomes okay. Eventually, if you take a stand...
Well, that's the way the world's going, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going there, and people are going to... Yeah, until
whether it's we like it or not.
But when you have a multi-billionaire owning a team, that's somebody that could take a stand and be like, yeah, it's not happening.
They tried. They're still a football team. The Indians tried. They're still going to be the Cleveland baseball team. Or the Spiders.
Yeah, they tried until they gave up.
No, they tried until they got fucking canceled to where they can't do anything about it.
That's not how that works, though. If
is.
you take a stand, you can't...
You took a stand for years.
And
they've been getting canceled for Wahoo for years.
And they gave up.
They didn't give up. They lost. There's a difference in trying to win and then losing and trying to win and winning. Seahawks didn't just give up on the goal line in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can't compare it to scoring because that's our competitive nature.
Sure you can. You're constantly trying to like outdo them. You're trying to be like, no, the Indians is crucial to this. They just outdo you. You don't give up. You just lost to the people.
I don't think it's the same at all.
Oh man, you are naive. It's crazy.
No, I don't think so.
All right, that's fine.
Like I said, I get that's the way the world's going. Yeah, it's going to get worse and worse. So I'm not naive. I get that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But until people take a stand, and taking a stand doesn't mean.
So you think the Indians and the football team didn't take a stand? You think they just stopped taking a stand?
And I think, what about both their messages that they put out about how they didn't say we hate that we have to change it. They said that they know they're outdated and that it was wrong to do this. And
they have to do that. That's a PR thing. You have to do.
Yeah,
you don't want to be like, I think you guys are all fucking wrong, by the way, and you're all fucking idiots and hypocrites. So we're going to change the name for you guys. You can't say that.
But you can't if you're taking a stand, because not only are you forfeiting.
They wouldn't have fought it for years if they weren't taking a stand.
Oh, I know. That's why it's bullshit that people think they're actually doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, no, it's the right thing. They shouldn't be the Redskins anymore, and that's why they changed it. No, like you said, they would not have changed it anyways if they had the choice. Yeah.
They didn't have the choice because they lost to the people. They just lost. These two people lost.
I think they're completely different.
That they can't. It's crazy that you think they gave up. They wouldn't have fought it for years. If they gave up, they would have been like, "Hey, we don't like your name." Okay.
So what do you think about the thousands, if not millions, of people that do support the Indians and the Redskins changing it and say that it is because they know
everyone
it's
has
outdated?
an opinion.
But
I think it's outdated. I'm fine. They changed their name. I like the football team name.
So, what about? I'm saying, like, as far as their messaging about how they know it's outdated and they know they shouldn't have been doing this and it's long overdue.
Was that their official statement? We know we shouldn't have done this.
Yeah,
no. You can look up the Indians press conference. It's probably we understand that it's outdated. We understand the heritage that this offends, so we're going to move forward with changing it.
And that it was wrong for doing it before.
That's where I want to see that you confirmed that part.
Okay, we'll talk about next episode, so I don't stall the episode.
Okay.
All right. And then...
It's wrong for them to have the name. I don't think that's the wording.
Well, even if that's not the exact word, they're saying they shouldn't have had a name is my point.
That's what I'm saying as well. Like, oh, we understand the heritage of it, and it's going against that. They're not going to word it that they were wrong. We understand it offends some people, so we're going to change it.
Okay, well, if that's your issue that saying wrong isn't in that title, maybe it is. I'm saying
it's a PR. Point. We lost. We need to just agree with it and just move forward and stop fighting it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're saying they took a stand.
They did take a stand. It's crazy that you don't see they took a stand. It would have changed in year one when Wahoo was getting canceled year one. It would have changed that instant to the stupid C.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. Now it isn't that.
They got more people, millions of people backing it, other companies backing it, other owners backing it. Mm-hmm. Of course you're going to lose that. You can fight it as long as you want. You're going to lose when it's you versus millions.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking. Now that they did change it, they're not supporting anymore. Mm-hmm. What's your stance on that?
Good for them.
So how are they? They're standing up for
it.
They
lost, so they accepted their loss. They changed the name. They're appeasing to the popular thing. Mm-hmm. You go with the majority, and you move forward.
Well, they didn't go with the majority, though.
They went with the vocal majority.
But not the majority that should actually matter. The Native
that
Americans.
Doesn't matter. Well, a lot of people. Those people were offended too.
No, but if you look, almost every giant poll that has been done, Native Americans.
There were some that weren't offended. Yeah.
Overwhelmingly, they weren't offended.
But
most
again, it comes down to the majority.
Yeah, the majority of people it should matter, not white and black people. The people that
it doesn't matter. It's the majority of people. I agree that they should take that into account, and I'm sure they did. But if the majority of people are against your name and are demanding you change it, just change it.
That's how cancellation becomes okay, and
it's already here. I don't see why people are so like, we have to cancel culture. It's already fucking here.
Yeah.
It's not affecting you. It's not affecting me. What's it matter?
It is.
It's affecting you?
Yeah.
On a personal level, it's affecting you.
Yeah.
What has been canceled to you?
Just anything like that. I don't.
Oh, you were a big Indians fan? I thought you hated the Indians.
I do.
Oh, so it doesn't affect you at all.
No, it does.
Oh, that doesn't make sense.
I think it does.
Okay. I disagree.
We'll get back to when.
I don't think we should.
Oh, you said you wanted to with a message, so.
No, we already agreed on that. I don't think the word wrong will be in there because it's not wrong. They're appeasing to the popular.
And
they fought it for long enough.
And you don't think the people, you said it didn't personally affect me. The people that should personally affect are Native Americans, and overwhelmingly.
Show me that stat too. That
okay,
an overwhelming stat of Native Americans were cool with the name. That is more than who's against it. You can show me that?
Yeah,
I'd be surprised.
I will, and I can also show you that a good amount of them also weren't just not offended, but they took pride in it because they knew that they weren't trying to be hateful.
I'm sure the people that actually voted on it, those numbers are probably skewed. I bet the people that actually took the time to vote, yeah, there are vocal people that were in favor of the name. I'm sure there was a lot that didn't vote that weren't for it.
Oh, I'm not talking about diehard Redskins fans that wanted to keep the name.
It wouldn't have been changed. There wouldn't have been millions of people against it if it wasn't a majority thing. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying Native Americans that took pride in it because they knew that.
They got fucked. Who cares? It's a baseball team name or a football team name.
That goes against everything you just said. Who cares that the people that actually matter in this situation got
everybody,
fucked?
The fans matter. The culture matters. If it's offending the Native Americans, that matters. That should matter the most, but it isn't what mattered.
And that's fucked up, and that's why it's not okay.
But it doesn't matter to me.
I don't see how it couldn't. That's so weird to me.
Same thing with people getting canceled. Ellen, there was stuff happening. Weird. It's probably a multi-thousand-person company. I'm sure some people got treated like shit. Shouldn't cancel her for it. But it happened. Oh, well.
That is nuts.
It's just we're in a fucking culture of the internet and people with loud fucking mouths that have way too much influence in the world that make this shit happen. The Indians was fine for years. The Redskins was fine for years. And people that have just too much power on the internet. And it's here. It's where the world's going. What's it going to do for me to sit back here and fuck it. Just accept it.
Okay, well, let me ask you that. You're taking this approach that, I guess, we're like, I'm an old timer or something for doing that?
I didn't say that.
Well, no, you said for me to go,
No, I said it doesn't make sense for me to go, fuck these guys.
Well, let me ask you this, though. You said, yeah, I think it is outdated. I think they should change it, but you just said that you don't think they should change it? I'm confused.
Who said that?
So you think they should change the name?
Yes, to appease to the majority of people. Fuck it, just do it.
That's the reason you think they should have changed it, though?
If my brand was something that was offensive to some people, and there was some vocal people being, hey, we're offended, and there were Native Americans that were offended by it, and even if there are some that are in favor for it, there are some that are offended by it. So you need to somehow, in this age of the internet, appease everybody.
Which is impossible.
Correct. But the best way to do it is to just drop the name. So yes, they should have changed it.
But what you just said, there's some that were offended and some weren't, no matter how you, even if I can find polls that say the majority were.
Yeah, because there's still people that were affected by it. There's still people that were not for it.
But my point is, you just said that, so yeah, you should cancel because there's still some that are affected. So literally you can cancel anything.
Yes.
The Cowboys can be canceled because.
I'm surprised they haven't been.
And there's some people that are going to be offended by Seahawks.
Sure, I don't know how, but sure.
Yeah, well, I know it's stupid, but there is, because you said literally if there's anybody, then yeah, it should be that way.
If there's a vocal, loud, it was so. There are people, Native Americans that were offended by it, and there are a shitload of people that think they should have been canceled for it, and were against it. The easiest way to fix it is to just, and I know I'm in the minority here, because I don't give a fuck about the cancel culture. Everyone's like, oh, they're taking Joe Rogan's Spotify podcast off because they're canceling the people. They're canceling football team names. The president has said this. Who cares?
Do you really think the majority of people are against it? Or do you think that's the vocal minority? I don't think the majority of people really are.
I don't think they would have changed it if it was a small number.
I think that they're so fucking loud, but I don't think the majority of people give two shits. And I think a lot of people...
I think majority don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying with the people that voted versus people that didn't vote. I think majority doesn't care. But it was enough of a presence to just change it. And if you're getting that much backlash for years, the Redskins and the Indians did, for years, the easiest way to do it is to just fucking change it.
But at that point, you're not even catering to the minority or the people that should be offended. You're catering to a very loud minority.
You're catering to just everything. Just change it. It's the easiest thing to do.
But you just said yourself that that is what's happening. Yeah, it's probably majority of people you think don't give a shit.
Correct.
And then there is at least some portion of people that
are offended and some people that aren't.
Yeah,
just
so...
And it fucking fixes everything.
But that means by default, majority of people definitely are not offended.
Most people don't care. That's the difference. I don't give a shit what the Redskins football team name is.
They don't give a shit, so they can't be offended. They can't love it, but they can't be offended.
Yeah.
So majority of people...
So it shouldn't matter if the name changes either. It's the same on the other side. So if we change the name, you still don't give a shit. But enough people are coming at them that you should change it.
What is enough people, though? Because we both just agree majority of people
are
not offended.
Whatever the number that came at them. They fought it for years.
I don't think it is even close to majority of people. I think it's a vocal minority.
It doesn't matter what we think. That's the big thing.
It does, though.
It doesn't. We don't have stats. We don't have numbers. We don't have charts. We don't have anything that shows the numbers. The fact of the shit is it got changed, and that's fine. And people shouldn't be mad about it.
And it's fine if you don't care enough. You don't have to care. But to say that it doesn't matter what we think, it can't change it, is just untrue, because we've seen that literally can affect it and change.
In some cases, but I think in most of the cases, if you have enough people, it doesn't matter. That's what you're saying, the vocal minority. So it doesn't matter what the majority of people said. It's what the minority said. So clearly it doesn't matter. So why get up in arms about it? I have a very passive stance on all this shit. And I know I do. It just doesn't make any sense for me to get wrapped up in it. Who cares what the fucking team name is? If it's offending anybody, just change it. It's a fucking team name.
Literally every name will be offensive. You can make it sound like I'm being dramatic.
Yeah, but there's some that are obviously, like the Redskins and the Indians are clearly have more of an impact than a Seahawk, which isn't even a real thing.
But you just said if anybody's offended, change it. You can find somebody's offended by fucking every stupid thing in the world.
You take it so literal to the point. If it is an obvious red flag, and to some people, the word Redskin isn't an obvious red flag. Oh, it's what it's been. It's what it is. Just leave it. To some people, it is an obvious red flag. Obviously, it has some sort of cultural baggage. Some people think it's good. Some people think it's bad. If it has bad, just fucking get rid of it.
I don't think I was doing that. Because my point is that...
Yeah, you did. None.
But I was taking your word. I wasn't trying to...
You took it super literal.
Yeah, but I wasn't trying to do that. You said that if anybody feels that way, even one, then they should change it. So I thought you were saying that.
If there's a large group of people that is offended by a clear, could be offensive thing, the easiest, and you've been being pressed on it for years. This isn't like people are pressing on the Broncos. No one gives a shit about the Broncos name. It's a fucking horse. No one cares. The Indians, people were upset about it. So they got pressed for years and years and years. Hey, you have a fucking red-faced Indian as your mascot. You should probably get rid of that. Probably a good call. We're in a different era. Probably should get rid of that. Nah, the word Indians isn't so good either. Probably. Let's just change it.
You said you shot the Cowboys haven't been changed yet.
Yeah, just because of cancel culture. Cowboys or whatever.
Well, I mean, Cowboys are known for killing Indians.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll come after them next. I don't know.
And Cowboys use horses, so isn't just a natural...
What a leap.
I think that it is a leap, but with how these fucking people think, I don't think it's much of one. And they
maybe.
Like, well, horses
and if it
used
happens, go Dallas football team, go Denver football team. It doesn't change the sport whatsoever.
I think if every football team had an FT, the sport would change drastically. So I think team names definitely matter.
As long as they still had nicknames, I don't think it would change at all.
What could their nicknames be, though?
The Seahawks, the Steelers, the Broncos.
But they couldn't.
Their nicknames would be that, Mr. Columbus Crew, Columbus SC, the Crew.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we're taking the stance that those things actually become offensive, they're not.
No, I'm not taking that stance.
I'm saying the hypothetical of those
Okay.
things becoming
Everything
offensive.
becomes offensive.
You're not going to use that as a nickname because that's the whole point of changing.
Yeah, well, the other ones would still be that. The Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Broncos. The Cowboys would be the boy cheerleaders.
That sounds way worse.
Still the same. The Dak Prescotts. Dacky P and the boys. The Redskins will just stay the football team. They don't have a nickname.
You think that's what's going to happen?
No. That's not the stance I'm taking at all. I'm just saying if it does, it doesn't change the sport.
No, I'm asking if you think that they're going to stay the football team.
Yeah.
You do?
They like it. And they've come out and said that we're kind of into it. I think the logo, like the helmet's clean with just the numbers. And I think, I don't know, it just gets to the point. We're the Washington football team. We're going to fucking have the best defense. Who cares? The Broncos not very exciting.
I think it is.
Browns certainly isn't very exciting.
No,
the Cleveland football team might be a better name than the Browns.
Maybe that one. I think the Broncos is a good name, but more than that, I think it's, like I said, the lineage and what it carries, the history. So, yeah, maybe.
And that'll still be there. All the history will still be there. And that doesn't change. Nor does the sport they play.
I don't think many people, when they talk about Indians records, look back to when before they were the Indians to talk about their records, though. I think they're like...
Were they relevant?
Huh?
Were they any good before they were the Indians?
I think that's when they were really good, actually. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
But I feel like people kind of
Browns do it all the time. Go back before anything was relevant.
Yeah, they're a special case. Them and
Niners do it.
Them and the Wolverines live in a different dimension.
Yeah. Cowboys do it. But I guess that was all still relevant to the Super Bowl era, so I guess you can still bring that up. Look, I'm probably going to get hate from our friends for this one. And honestly, I don't care. Because I've heard all you guys talk about cancel culture, and we've never talked about it. I think that's why this took an interesting turn. You guys are all super against cancel culture. Like, have strong stances on it. I have a strong, I don't care stance. And I hope that came out. And if it didn't, if you made it this far, this is my stance. I truly don't give a shit. And I don't think it matters. Just as much as I don't think the presidency matters, nothing changes. Just as much as I think the only thing that matters in government and all that shit is your local government. So I have interest in that, but even that I'm pretty passive on. All the sports shit, none of it matters. Names don't matter. Celebrities, who gives a shit? Ellen's a fucking multi-millionaire. Canceler, who cares? Go fucking live with your wife and enjoy your millions. Sorry, one of your employees had a bad day and you got fucking canceled for it. I think cancel culture's stupid. But if it's gonna happen. And people and but you can stand up for it and you can be what changes it. No, I can't. Just like my vote doesn't matter. Just like my voice just doesn't matter. So I'm gonna let it all and keep living my life.
I think it's crazy to think that way, but everyone's welcome to their own opinion, and maybe some other people treat it different. I'll treat it the same. Everybody can think whatever they want. I think it's kind of crazy that having opinions I have is looked at as like a crazy stance, or like...
The only thing I said was crazy for you, that you would stop liking the Reds if they became the Cincinnati baseball team. That's the only one that I think you'd be crazy for.
Well, I'm saying even, maybe not crazy, but like you said, hardcore against cancel culture. I think it's crazy that that's how crazy cancel culture is now, that being like, yeah, it's kind of crazy that it's happening.
You would be the minority. At least, you're probably not the minority, but the majority is very loud of the canceling people. So same thing that you're saying with the sports teams. So the majority probably don't give a shit. And then the majority of people that do give a shit are against cancel culture. But the people who are loud as fuck are the people that are for cancel culture. And again, like I was saying with social platforms, people just have big fucking mouths and too much of a fucking social media presence. The internet is stupid. People can just say whatever the fuck they want, and it just doesn't matter. And somehow they get fucking popular for it. So,
that's what we need to do.
again, I'm sure if of all the episodes to blow up, I'm sure this is the one, and I'll get fucking canceled, and that's fine. That'd be ironic.
Yeah, very poetic.
That I'd be the one and I'm the one that's the most in the middle, I think. So that'd be interesting if I got canceled. Because I'm kind of like whatever. I don't know. Again, I like the Washington football team name, so
that one's criminal me aside from the whole anything cancel culture or anything. I just can't believe I actually like that. I think it's.
I really do. I like it more than the Redskins.
I wasn't that crazy about the Redskins. Like I said, that one's just kind of history.
Yeah.
I think for me, that's why.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, the Broncos, if it's like a new team came under that name, I don't think it's that great, but I think it's kind of the history of it and the connection I have to it. But I just can't believe you like football team because I never thought it could get worse than the Browns for me, and they're the one underneath it.
See, I think Cleveland football team would be better than the Cleveland Browns. I don't think I would buy Seattle football team gear.
Oh, man.
For sure. I'd be bummed if they changed because I think Seattle Seahawks flows really well. It sounds really cool. The logo's cool. Go Hawks! Like there's a lot of cool things that go with it.
Yeah, our podcast would be gone.
Yeah, but if they changed it,
the bro teams.
Yeah, I don't know what we'd be. Have to change it to pop or something. But yeah, my love for them wouldn't change at all.
Wow.
And I would just replace my Seahawks jerseys with football team jerseys. Because I'm sure it wouldn't say football team. It would say SFT or Seattle.
That sounds like you're going to airports.
Yeah, maybe.
SFT.
That's what I think. And I'm sure there'll be some great... and I probably even contradict myself at points.
Oh, I'm sure I did too. And
but if I did, here's my... I don't care. Because I know that it could seem contradictory when I say... I'm fine with them changing the name and then say that people have big fucking mouths and cancel culture is just present. The big thing is I just don't think my opinion matters. That's my final stance. What I say does not matter. And that's why I brought in politics. And everyone, oh, put your vote, man. Everyone says that. You have a right. You have a fucking obligation to vote. I don't. You were born into a free country. You should... Don't care. Doesn't affect me.
I've never been anybody that has done that. I can't stand if people make people try and vote. I think if you pay attention to politics and you know what's going on, it'd be smart to vote.
Yeah.
But I think pressuring people into voting when a lot of people don't pay attention is doing more harm than good.
Definitely. My life's never changed. Doesn't matter what party is in the office.
I definitely differ where I do think that, yeah, maybe I'm not saying my opinion is so strong that I'm going to make a difference.
But a group of you, it's the same thing with voting. Yeah,
well,
your vote doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that.
But if a ton of people thought like you, it would make a huge difference.
And that is true, but I'm never going to pressure somebody else into doing that or saying that people need to do that. I think it would be disingenuous to not say that is how it can work, because I think that's how
same way the other way. So
I think that is how we end up with, because I agree that pretty much all presidencies of my lifetime feel pretty similar with some slight differences.
Maybe gas prices went up 30 cents between presidencies.
I think that's why it's like that, though, because we do just keep doing the same thing over and over, I think, until something's different. And
yeah, maybe I get out of the country or something and see how other things work. Maybe. But I'm so in the middle, I don't care. That's why I keep, like, oh, if everybody thought like you, but everybody still does think like me. What if I went and vote, I'm not changing them. So it doesn't matter if I go vote, because they're still going to think that way anyway. So it doesn't matter. And you could say, but that's so stupid. If you guys, I get it. But they're not changing. I'm not going to either.
Oh, I'm not saying you're stupid or you should do that. And that's why I never pressure anybody into doing it. I'm just saying that is true. And so that's why, even though I can't make the difference, I'm going to, since I feel that way, I'm going to do it, because I can't control other people. But if I do want it to be a difference, then I have to try and do that. And that if a difference doesn't happen, then I did my part. I'm not going to be like, no, you got to do your part as well. And
I did. I didn't vote for one of the liars. I did my part. I didn't give them one of my powerful, meaningful votes. I did my part. I'm doing just as much as you are.
Oh, I told you.
The day that the presidency is decided by one vote is the day that I'll start voting.
That happened in a movie with Kevin Costner.
In a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck, I'll vote. I got 3 years. 2024. I'll be there.
Yep.
Voting for Biden.
Oh, I think he's going to be
Or The
dead.
Rock. Who's voting? Who's running this time? What
He
celebrity do you
said
think's
he's
going to
gonna-
run? The Rock.
Kanye West says
I was
every
going to
time.
put in Kanye. I was going to go in and vote for Kanye, but he wasn't on the ballot.
Nope.
My one
It was
vote
too
in my
late.
life was going to be Kanye.
You've never voted at all?
Mm-mm.
Really?
I've never had the interest. But I'm 30. So I've
Well,
had 3 opportunities to vote.
I was going to say more so, there's elections every year. Not that you should vote on all of them, but like all the...
I am starting to care about local things. Like school votings, mayors, that type of shit. I'm starting to look into. Because I think that does affect me on a day-to-day basis. I will never vote for presidency. Ever.
Unless it's Kanye West, that's your...
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have gone through it, let's be real. So either it's decided by one vote one day, or I won't do it. Or like Russell Wilson runs for president. I feel like he would probably get my vote. And he seems like the guy who would probably do it too for some reason. So.
What do you think about Kevin Costner?
He was in Draft Day, right?
Yep.
I know he's in a shitload of other movies, and he's the guy from Draft Day.
It's Force podcast, so...
Yeah.
Works.
Just making sure I had my elite football movies up to date. He's fine.
Yeah.
Who else is Kevin Costner? Hold on.
Who
He
else
was
is
in
he?
Mr. Brooks with Dane Cook, where
Try and
he
avoid
was a
anything-
killer.
Try and avoid anything with Dane Cook. So.
I feel like I'm naming really obscure Kevin
Yeah,
Costner
I think.
movies. What's the big one he was in?
No, oh, jeez, catching me off guard. I cut a list of like 15.
I feel like
But
I
even
should be
that-
able to name 15. Kevin Costner. I feel like he was a super person.
Oh, yeah, he was in all the biggest movies and like the...
Well, I thought he was like a hero movie. Was he ever in a hero movie? What the fuck was he in? Dude, we're going to look like idiots here in a second. You can go on to your next thing.
I know he is. Yeah, we're going to because I can, in the back of my
And
head,
I
have like 20 movies
fucking
sitting
named
there.
Draft Day and fucking Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, I don't think either of those would show up on... Not obviously show up on his IMDb, but
Dances
like the
with
main one.
Wolves, Waterworld.
Yeah, I must say Waterworks. Good thing you didn't say that. I need to thought of that movie.
Still not a lot of... I mean, Waterworld's pretty huge. But still not like The Postman. That was in school. He was in Justice League.
Was he?
Yeah, Jonathan Kent.
Wasn't a big fan of that movie, so I didn't hate it like everybody. I just thought it was very mediocre.
And he was in Batman vs. Superman. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. No, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah,
He was in
the-
Batman vs. Superman. I fucking knew it.
Isn't he the dad?
I think so. Yeah. That's why I fucking knew it. Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I knew it was a
There it
baseball movie. I
is.
was blanking on it.
Mr. Brooks. There it is. I'm going to be honest with you. Even looking up his movies, I've seen Waterworld, Mr. Brooks, Draft Day, and Justice League.
That's it, huh?
I think so.
Wow.
Oh, and Postman I saw in school. Dances with Wolves, I never saw. Even Waterworld is like on TV all the time, and I just kind of watch it.
So not present material, huh? He's in that movie, whatever the present movie was.
What is that here?
It's
Kevin
kind of
Costner.
like Draft Day where it's so ridiculous that...
Kevin Costner president movie. Swing Vote?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, the Swing Vote.
I feel like he's even in Ohio. But
This looks like a fucking movie that I would have avoided. Man, I can't wait to see the comments on this YouTube video.
Yeah, I've watched it, but it's super cheesy. And very...
Oh, that's even
not
worse.
realistic.
Wait for it.
Yeah, he's the everyday man that... I think he was like you, if I remember right. He's like, my vote's not going to make the difference. And then...
Oh, that seems... Yeah, I have such a plottable life.
Yeah.
The
no,
guy who just doesn't give a shit and everything goes wrong and the one thing he does changes everything.
If I remember right, that's what happened after the show. Should we...
Yeah, so sorry if it felt like I got heated. I wasn't mad at you. And we weren't arguing or anything. It's just a weird topic.
No,
And we have differing opinions. So I don't want them to think we were fighting it either.
No, I love you, and I think, I know you don't care about cancel culture, but I think if more people just learn how to talk to each other and realize that even if they feel different, they can talk.
Yeah.
It would help with a lot of things.
And I'm so on the fence. I don't even know how I fully feel either. So it's even hard for me to talk about it. I just don't care so much that it's hard for me to verbally, like, say how little I care.
And also, normally I feel like I'd be like, especially on our podcast, be like, okay, and just move on.
Yeah.
But I feel like that'll seem disingenuous. I do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta start talking on podcasts. I don't want to fucking turn to CNN or ESPN where we're just arguing everything.
No, and we don't.
Like,
this is our first, like, back and forth.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't even want it to be a bad thing because I think arguments are a good thing and entertaining if they're like that. I just don't want to turn
I'm sure
to
there's
ESPN
going to be multiple
where you're like,
laughs from my points.
where you're like, oh, LeBron James is great. I'm like, LeBron James is the worst, which obviously everybody knows he's not, and then they just start debating that.
We could be Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
And just start fucking standing up and screaming false things.
That's why I don't really watch sports coverage anymore. I watch sports all the time, but it's all just...
I had to stop watching sports stuff this year. Sports coverage. The Russell Wilson shit was so annoying.
Yeah, I would follow news stories and stuff. I used to turn on ESPN, just sit there all day. Now, the reason I stopped is because I'd fall
too many motherfuckers got a big mouth. He's just letting too many people on the internet.
I would fall right into the trap, too. How could he think that way?
I'm literally the people with the big mouth, by the way. I'm that. I know that. I would be perfect for those type of shows. Because I would be the guy, listen to this fucking idiot who said this, but then he said, why did Ellen get canceled? He's an idiot. And it would get millions of views, probably.
Oh, God. Yeah, so I never want to turn into where we're forcing fake arguments. You can tell us nobody fucking believes LeBron James is terrible, even if you think he's overrated or whatever. Or
LeBum.
Yeah, so starting those kind of arguments is just so stupid.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with debating things that are actually debatable or like back and forth.
Remember when we said this would be a short podcast?
Yeah.
We argued for an hour.
Has it been that long? Well, crazy enough, I think the sports substance of most of this is probably going to be short. So
yeah.
We can get into that first. Continue with the MLS.
Yeah, let's keep talking about that.
It was, this is just the standings. So the Crew have played 5 games. They're 1-2-2, which is 1 win, 2 draws, which should not.
Yeah, those are fine. Yeah. But they're not like horrible, like Lawson.
Yeah, it gives you 1 point in the standings. The win gets you 3 points. The loss obviously gets you none. And then they have 2 losses, so they have 5 points, which puts them in 11th out of 14 in the Eastern Conference. So not great, but they played 1 less game than most of the teams, and they're 6 points out of first place, so that's 2 wins out, which is crazy. That makes it sound so bad. They changed it this year because they added teams, but oh God, I'm gonna look it up because I'm gonna fucking lie to you and have to correct myself next episode.
Do you have anything about the NBA expansion happening on here?
No.
Okay.
We can talk about that after MLS if you wanted.
I don't have much on it. I just heard they're trying to expand it to 2 more teams, I think.
Oh, really?
And Seattle was one of them. Bring the Supersonics back, and you will get me into basketball. That's it. We just talked about it.
There was rumors for a while that Columbus might get a team, and it might have been.
I would go to Columbus basketball games.
I would too, and I would drop off the Cavaliers so fast because I don't like supporting any Cleveland teams, but they're the only team we have, so that's why I'll support them.
And they're so bad.
Anyway, so that's actually, I think I talked about in the first episode, why I started rooting for him, because there's such an underdog when LeBron left, which is when everybody jumped off board. Yeah. I like rooting for underdogs. And
I see the occasional hopeful Cavalier fan. We got a really young core and a good leader.
Oh, yeah, I always hope for that, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, they're going to suck ass. Yeah. But the rumor was a long time was the Kings, because they were trying to relocate to Columbus.
Columbus Kings?
And
they're bringing the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said the Kings.
Oh, I didn't know if I said a different city by mistake. Yeah, I was talking about the Sacramento Kings.
I thought you meant they were talking about bringing a team to Columbus and calling them the Kings.
No.
And then I remembered there is a team called the Kings already.
But that kind of fell away, so I don't know if the Kings thing got solidified. Maybe they're having like a cruise situation and that stopped. I think Columbus probably never get a team because the Cavaliers, Dan Gilbert has so much fucking money and power that I think he could stop Columbus from getting a team.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But there's 34 games in MLS season this year.
Oh.
I was going to say
that's
32,
more than normal?
So, yeah, they expanded by 4 games, I think. I should trust my guess. I thought 32, so we've been far off.
Gotcha.
Did you want to talk about something before I pass you up?
It's Seattle and Las Vegas.
Oh, Jesus. What?
Yeah, I know you'd have an issue with that.
Not even that end. They're pouring all these teams into Las Vegas, and I think it looks good right now because they're
10 years
fresh
it
and
won't
hot.
matter.
Yeah, I think they're not gonna have a staying power like other cities do, and they're just going fucking all in on it. They're gonna. This is obviously not even comparable to what we're talking about, but they're getting an IFL team as well.
Las Vegas?
Yep, which is cool. Colorado's getting a team as well.
When? That's next year?
Yep.
Wild Dogs?
Yeah, so they're already up to
We'll be there.
16 teams, and they're adding 3 next year.
We should go to an away game.
Oh, I am down.
Just
You
one,
gotta go.
though.
You know I'll go more.
I
Buy
know
my
you.
kids one.
I have to specify that. I will go to one.
No, that's reasonable. I'm just insane. So,
Yeah, I
no,
know.
I'll definitely go with you.
And it also has to be pretty close.
If it's in Louisville, that's about as close as you can get. 3 hours.
I'm cool with that.
I wouldn't be
I'm up to
surprised.
like 7 hours. I'm willing to drive for an indoor football league team.
What about flying to Colorado?
I'd want to explore Colorado. I'm
Oh.
not going there for an indoor football league team.
I would go there for that reason, but then I'd explore Colorado the rest of the time. You know?
Yeah, that would be like a big planning. I guess next year. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
We can get into MLB for a second. Did you want to?
Sure. Check the teams? Yep.
Yeah.
My weekly check-in. I have no idea.
The Reds aren't doing good, but I'll get into that.
They're not? Okay.
No, I'll get into that.
I remember the Mariners were very average. And the hotly debated baseball team, I don't know. Reds lost to the Giants 19-4. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Holy shit. Why are they not like top of my thing? Did they not play? Wednesday? Oh, I'm on the wrong day.
Goofball.
Indians beat the Angels. The Mariners lost to the Tigers. Oh, I should probably just click on their fucking records. Jesus Christ. All right, Indians are 23-18. That seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Mariners are 21-23, so they've dipped below exactly average. So
Okay. Yeah, as you said, the Reds lost 19-4 today, which is terrible. There's no way around that.
that was today.
Yeah.
Sad.
That wouldn't be as bad, though, if it was a one-off game. It's horrendous, but people will react to the big games like that, but that's bound to happen, especially in a 162-game season. I think worse than losing that is the fact that they lost 4 in a row to the Giants and got swept after winning 2 in a row to Colorado. So they're right under 500, 19-23, which only puts them 5 games out of the wild card and 5 games out of or 5.5 games out of wild card and 5.5 out of the division lead. So definitely doable, but you can't dig yourself in too big of a hole, and that's why.
I like your outlook. Everything you've mentioned so far. Oh, it's only a few games out of. It's only like 5.5 games.
Well, most people say that I'm too optimistic and unrealistic, and so I try and cover my bases too. Baseball reference. I wasn't trying to do that because
There are bases in baseball.
there is.
I got it.
That isn't bad, but eventually you can't just obviously
Can't be
keep it up.
20 games out of fucking
Yeah, and people say the beginning of the baseball season doesn't matter because there's so many games, but that's when it really does because
That's me. I
It's-
say that.
yeah, it seems minimal right now, and I know you don't follow baseball, so I understand if you don't get it, but
I don't. What I say doesn't matter.
it seems minimal right now because there's so many games. Who gives a shit? But they're 5 games out, so eventually, even though it's a long season, that's more ground you're making up the entire season. So you start
Yeah.
out with a good start, then you're able to have these fallbacks and not.
Then you can have the couple game dip.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
you can lose 19-4, but you're still fine.
So, and they have the talent to do it because we've seen the streaks they went on, but eventually you have to get on one of those streaks again, or you're not gonna have much hope.
The Seattle baseball team has quite the gauntlet coming up. Well, 2 series of gauntlets. They have the Padres, which I know they're good. Also,
Unfortunately.
their record says they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the Athletics, who are also just as good, it looks like. So, 2 3-game series. So I'm sure that will start to dig that hole. But they're only 5 games, 6 games out of first. Is that true?
It probably is in that division. That sounds right.
The top team has 26 wins. We have 21. Oh, the A's. Also, the A's game really matters. And then Houston has 26 as well. So 5 games to tie, 6 to take. Yeah, and then playoffs and shit, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot about baseball, so.
I'm glad you brought up the A's. Did you hear those rumors of them relocating?
Moving from Oakland?
Yep.
Doesn't surprise me. Seems like nothing's staying in Oakland either. Where are they going to move to fucking Los Angeles?
The rumor is Las Vegas. And I can't imagine being an Oakland fan. I fucking hate Oakland. You know that as a Broncos fan.
I should have said that because of the Raiders. I said Los Angeles because everything else is Los Angeles.
You said Los Angeles. I thought for sure you're going to say Vegas. But no, I get
I
that
even
as well.
thought Vegas, but I was like, oh, it's probably Los Angeles.
I feel so bad. I hate
Dodgers.
Oakland, but I feel like they were one of the most supportive and loyal teams.
Yeah,
to the Raiders,
they should have never lost either team.
So they lose
Especially
the A's on top of
A's.
that. Yeah.
Well, especially the Raiders, but the A's have been around forever, right?
Yeah.
Again, I don't know much about baseball, but I know the A's is like a staple.
Yeah, it's the first time. Well, they've talked about it before, but it's the first
And
time
Brad
it's heated
Pitt.
up in a long time. That's right.
That movie's awesome.
It is good. So we sometimes do our favorite sports movies and like rank them or something.
Definitely, we should. Invincible's very high for me, and I hate the Eagles.
Next, that's up there too. I don't like the Eagles either. Next week, let's not do a game show this week since.
Definitely not. We already had our game show.
But next week, I think we should. It'd be fun talking about baseball to pick our favorite walk-up songs, like what we would have if we were baseball players. Maybe do like 3 of them, so that we could, because some players have a
Do we
couple
play
of
'em?
different moods.
We can play them for like 5 seconds each.
Are we allowed to do that?
I think if we do them for like really short periods.
Okay. Have to find good points, so it's not just like bam,
Yeah.
bam.
Bam, 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 bam.
But I think it'd be funny. Maybe we could just pick 3 and have a little variety in there. Because I'm a fucking weirdo. I dreamed that even though I'm never going to be in MLB.
I've never once thought about it.
Really?
So I'll have to put some serious thought into it, yeah.
Okay. You talked last week about how many no-hitters there were.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Hasn't there been a lot?
There has. Trevor commented on it. I was looking up before, but
Don't
Trevor
talk about the
watches-
Mariners. Don't talk about it. You don't have to.
Is that who the Dodgers did against?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm not even trying.
Yeah, I think they've had the most in a stretch that I think his teams have had in seasons. That stat, you can fact check me on that. But the Mariners have had a lot happen to them.
Yeah, there's been 6 this year, which for some reason, you think this would be a very findable stat unless I'm just an idiot. I can't find what is the most in a single season.
Okay.
When you Google it, it says there's been 7 done 3 times in a season. But I've looked at season by season, and I've already found some that are in 8 and 9. So I don't know why this is such a hard stat. I feel like that'd be very trackable. Like the easiest trackable stat. But there's been 6, which is definitely high for especially this early in the year.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is just having so quick.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, I know you say you don't follow baseball much, but they've been trying to get hitting more into baseball and take pitching out of it. And they have been doing that crazy the past, 5 years.
I know they started adding, the timers.
Yeah.
For, in between. Yeah, I knew that.
And in, the early 70s, I think they, what was it? I think it was, I think it's the early 70s. Obviously, I didn't remember this as it happened. It was heard talked about. But they.
You don't remember the 70s?
Well, I realized the way I said that, I was thinking, when was that?
When I was in my early years.
But I know they lowered the mound and shrunk the strike zone.
In the 70s they did that?
Yeah, because pitching was becoming too dominant. And this past, 5 years, they made crazy changes to try and make that happen.
Okay. I forgot to say, I feel like even when I was growing up, all the people you heard about were the home run hitters and then the crazy pitchers, the guy, the skinny guy with the long ass arm, Randy Johnson,
the bird killer.
Yep, the bird. Yep, that's actually the only
crazy.
pitcher I can name. So maybe they only talked about baseball hitters. So maybe that's just proving it more.
The crazy thing is they made all these changes to try and improve hitting, and it says this is the lowest the batting average has been at this point of the year in baseball history. For the league wide, the batting average is only at 237, which is the lowest it's been in MLB history at this point of the year. So
Weird.
they're making all these changes to make hitting stronger, and it's all backfiring, and more no-hitters than are on pace for most no-hitters. So I don't know what the MLB is doing, but it's not working.
You know, I used to be a Cardinals fan.
Did you?
What was that guy? What was the
Albert
guy?
Pujols?
No.
No?
He was the home run guy.
He hit it.
It's not the guy. He did
No.
steroids too.
You're not thinking of Jose Canseco, are you?
No.
Says he didn't play for the Cardinals. I don't know who would be on the Cardinals. They're a Reds rivals. I know a lot about them.
Mark Mcguire.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was a Mark. Maybe I should have
No,
just said Mark.
I should have
And you
thought
would
of
have
it
gotten
before I
it.
said Albert Pujols. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely would have.
Especially
When I say I'm a Reds fan. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know who that would be.
And he got busted for steroids, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I loved Mark Mcguire.
I enjoyed, even though I was a Reds fan, it's fun watching him and like the home runs back and forth, him and Barry Bonds. And
Yep. That's all I remember, actually. And I used to like the Cardinals because of that. I would always use them in the baseball games for the home run derby.
Ken Griffey Jr. was the best for that, though.
I used him,
especially
too.
that swing he had.
Yep.
There's not a prettier looking swing in baseball than Ken Griffey's in the sound.
It's not going to happen, but they put him with his backwards hat as the MLB logo. I'd be totally down.
Yeah, I'd be down for that as well. I meant to talk last week. I know it was in our group chat. Did you watch the interview with Nick Castellanos and that Reds fan?
I did. I don't remember it. I watched it a couple times to make sure I knew it too.
He's the one that got suspended, like I said, I think kind of unfairly. And for some reason, they let a Reds fan interview him. This was like not Fox Sports Net, because they don't call it that now, whatever, Ballway Sports, whatever the hell they call it. So this was like a major broadcast. For some reason, they let a random fan interview him. And all right, you're on live TV. Don't say anything that you won't regret. No, this is asking for trouble. And you about to play it?
You're on live TV here now. What led up to the fist bump? So I told Nick when he got up there that he should imagine that Rob Manfred's face was on the baseball. And the next pitch, he lit it up over the fence, baby. All righty.
Okay. So as a non-baseball watcher, didn't know that was a fan. I also didn't read because it clearly said it when I looked at it again. Didn't know it was a fan. Don't know who the guy was that was on the ball, and don't see the issue with it either. So,
I don't have an issue. I think it's hilarious. It isn't an issue. I don't think it should be, but he's the commissioner of baseball.
I see why it's an issue now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And
that seems like shit. You would see. Imagine Roger Goodell's face and he's spiking to the ground. That just seems like things that happen.
And the audio is funny, but the visual of it is so much funnier because the player's sitting there and like crossing his arms and like not saying anything, but clearly agreeing with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole thing is very funny, but not.
The silence at the end is the best part. All right.
Yeah, that part's great. And I was like, well, he didn't cuss or say anything, just like asked to, so I can't really say anything. But also, it probably wasn't something that should have been on here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that makes it funnier knowing what actually it is. So, thank you.
And yeah, no problem. And I'm totally okay with it because, like I said, I think the suspension was unfair, and I think
is he back from suspension?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God, he seems like he's just asking for it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for at least a fine.
Definitely.
But I think
that's
even
awesome.
aside from being a Reds fan, and I'm not even somebody who hates on commissioners like Roger Goodell. There's things I disagree with him. He seems fine.
He's doing fine. I love football,
so I'm not one of those guys. But
I would have booed him though.
Yeah,
it just seems like the thing to do. So.
Rob Manfred, I think majority of decisions he's made with baseball are very backwards and opposite of what baseball should be. So
next one, he lit it up. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck that guy got down, like how that became a thing.
They pick stupid ass people to do stupid ass shit all the time.
I know he said it's live. There's obviously a delay. They would try and cut him off, but I really wish he had said something fucking crazy wild on there.
Well, fuck. All right.
Sorry. Next, we can talk about NHL for a minute. You have any more Kraken news for us?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone else. Yeah. They might have. I don't fucking know. But I don't think so.
The Blue Jackets actually do have some news.
Do they?
Some pretty big news. It's
Big
going to
news?
sound boring, but it is big news.
They re-signed John Tortellini.
No, I'm glad you said his name, though. That's not
I
his
saw
name.
it in your email. That's why I said it. I thought it was a good segue.
But John
That's what I call
Tortorella.
him, though.
No, I know.
Tortellini's better.
Everybody
Everybody
around me
does
calls
it?
him different names,
Oh.
and not like they don't know him, just like jokingly.
I don't actually fully know his name. What is it?
Tortorella.
Yeah, it's way easier for me to remember Tortellini.
I think it's why most people call him Torts. Even players
That's
do it.
worse.
That's worse.
Yeah. What's up, Torts? Oh, that's bad. It's like calling someone Squirt. Hey, Squirt. Hey, Torts.
Oh, that sounds gross. So
Hey, Squirt.
Squirt always sounds inappropriate. Torch just sounds like a kind
Hey,
of
Torch, you
generic
squirt.
name. I sure do. But I was talking about how he got.
Why don't you call him John?
I don't know. It sounds really weird to me now.
Then
It's-
Torts?
Yeah, not because I think it's wrong, but it's just so nobody calls him that, so it's weird now.
Okay.
Since
all right.
I've heard it so much.
So it's just like how everyone calls me D-Dubs.
Yeah, exactly. People call you Derek. See, I almost can't do it.
I get it now.
When I was talking about him getting fired last week.
Oh, yeah, and we thought it was like he got fired, but they agreed to make it look like it.
Yeah. I forgot to mention, I feel like I should admit this on podcast. I cried multiple times watching
Okay.
compilation videos of
Okay.
his history in Columbus.
Okay.
And I feel like I should just admit it because, like I said, I feel like that shows what he did for Columbus and not just the team.
Okay.
And how I feel like everybody gave him shit and nobody appreciated what he did here.
Okay.
So I feel like like I said, I always kind of he's not underdog, but he's kind of hated on and rooted against for some weird reason that I don't understand.
Okay.
I think it made me like him more. So I just wanted to,
Just admit that.
yeah, I feel like I should get that out there.
Okay.
You're talking about getting made fun of. The old podcast me and Cody did together,
Yeah.
the one on his channel.
I didn't even know you guys had another podcast that was
Yeah.
happening at one point.
I
Is it
talked
still
about-
on there?
I think he put him private, so he probably didn't do you. But I talked about how I
That's fine.
cried during Unravel, and that is still a joke to this day.
I was about to say, I think I've heard that recently that you cried during Unraveled.
Yeah, it's a joke to this fucking day, and that was 4 years ago now.
You're a crier, though.
I
I
am.
feel like you cry for a lot of things.
I do.
So that's not that
I don't think
weird.
many people would cry watching a compilation video.
You're in a very select few. I'm sure other people have.
And it wasn't like it was bad too. I wasn't just like, oh, that's sad. I was watching.
Like you
it.
shed a little tear, but it was like a cry, like a weep.
Yeah, and then I was
Like, did you have the?
I did.
Wow.
And then
a
I
real
was like-
cry. Wow.
I was like, man, I want to watch it again. I fell for the trap multiple times.
All right.
That's
Thanks,
not
I mean,
the-
thanks for being honest.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna get roasted for having a shitty opinion. You're gonna get roasted for crying.
Trevor's usually the one that comments on sports ones. He'll probably say, you guys both did great.
Oh, I'm sure this one's gonna get thousands of views for some reason, and I'm sure Trevor has some words for me. So Trevor,
I don't think that's what I'm saying. He's just, you talking about you being in the middle. He's just like the most, oh, I don't care kind of guy. Probably.
oh man, he might agree with me.
Yeah, he might be like, you guys both did great. I agree with both of you.
No.
Well, you can't even agree with both of us in that stance, but okay.
Definitely not.
But the actual real Blue Jays news, it's not me crying, believe it or not. But
I think
it's-
I've only cried once during sports,
Really?
and it was when Seattle won the Super Bowl because I was with my dad. Twice. They involved my dad though. That's why I like sports. That's why the name shit doesn't matter to me. I like sports because of my dad. That's pretty much it. I cried when we went to see LSU in the playoffs, and having him because he's really sick. Having him there in person. Waterfall. And then when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, because I got to see those things in person, and people don't get to do that. So
Makes sense.
those are the only two times I cried. I think.
I
But-
cried during that Super Bowl as well.
Did you actually?
No, I was
Oh, that's
it
a
was
funny
just fucking
joke. But
numbing.
then I was
just
like, yeah, I can't imagine how for a Broncos fan specifically, but any NFL fan, how anyone enjoyed that if you're not a Seahawks fan.
yeah, it was miserable.
Yeah, I can't imagine it was fun at all. It was fucking awesome for me. And it was one of, you know how football games there's like always the part where you're worried?
Uh-huh.
There was not a second that I even was worried.
That's why I said the only way I can describe it is numbing, because I wasn't like, I mean,
There's no hope. There's no.
yeah, even in the beginning when it fell apart, I was like, they'll probably get the next one, but then it just kept falling apart, so yeah, pretty fast. I was just like, oh, God. Just kind of
As
just,
soon as
I
that-
like,
as soon as
watched
the-
it all, but I kind of just tuned out.
As soon as the kick return happened at the start of the second half, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is going to be fucking disgusting. And it was. I cried.
last set.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. You've won one since then. I haven't, so I've lost one since then.
But the big Blue Jacks news of the day was, I should have talked about this last week. So let me set this up for you.
Okay.
John Davison used to be the president of the Blue Jackets from 2012 to 2019.
What's the singer for Korn's name?
There's nothing close to that. It's
Jonathan Davis.
No, it's Scott Stapp.
No, that's Creed.
Wait, what did you say?
Singer for Korn.
The fuck, I definitely heard Creed. I believe you said Korn. So I was like, are you fucking with me? So you might be right.
John Davison. Jonathan
right.
Davis is the Korn. So it is close.
That makes sense because we put John Davison. The first autofill is hockey. So people probably, I'm trying to find him, not this other guy.
Guy for Korn.
No, so I believe you said Korn. I just thought you were fucking with me.
I hope I said Korn. It's definitely what I meant.
But he was the president of the Blue Jacks from 2012 to 2019. He came in with the GM of the Blue Jacks I mentioned last week. His name's Jarmo Kekalainen. Close.
What's the other guy's name that you wanted to get fired?
Oh, that is, I'm going to get right this time, Brad Larson.
Brad.
I knew you weren't far off. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But they came in together, and that was when the Blue Jacks were probably at their worst. And they quickly turned into a consistent playoff team with John Tortorella as a coach. They're the ones that hired him.
Torts.
And then 2019, John Davison left the Blue Jackets. A lot of people started hating on him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I think you don't agree. I think we talked about this too, how players leave and you can feel different about them. Like I said, I fucking hate LeBron, not because he left, but the way he did it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue with people leaving. I think that's what people don't understand. They're trying to better themselves. They're in a good situation. John Davison was a Rangers player, and he left to be the president of the Rangers. And he said that's the only opportunity he would take other than Blue Jackets. And people would trash him because everybody was leaving Columbus. And there was a lot of players that were doing the same shit that they're doing now and just trying to get out. I was like, this one seems completely different and believable. Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing I felt about Urban Meyer when Florida fans were destroying him. I was like, it makes sense that fucking from Ohio and grew up Ohio State fan. That's probably like a once-in-a-lifetime, if ever, opportunity. Yeah.
Especially if you've said before, this is the one thing I would do it for.
Yeah, so even though I was bummed because of shit, this guy's super talented and turned his team around. Mm-hmm. So it sucked for the Blue Jackets, so I don't hate him at all.
But are the Rangers bad?
They are now. They just missed the playoffs, I think. So it's not like they're atrocious or anything, but but they fired him last week and the GM of the Rangers because, and I don't think it's anything to do with talent. They put out a big statement. There's this guy named Tom Wilson. He's a piece of shit of the league.
Okay, that's his official title. That's
what any fan that watches will tell you.
Okay.
Not just Blue Jacket fans. He does it to every team.
Okay.
He's like, think Vontaze Burfict, but just every game.
Just quality guy,
yeah. Yeah. And there's some hits where you could argue maybe he wasn't trying to do it, but there's ones that are just downright obviously hurting players. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, the league just lets him get away with it, and then they give him, even when they suspend him or fine him, it's a minimal amount, and then other players get way worse for far less. Okay. Yeah. So.
What's his name?
Tom Wilson.
We'll look him up.
Yeah, you should do it. And he just looks like a piece of shit, too. But the Rangers put out this fucking awesome statement that this was like one of those official things that teams do, like when they make a coaching change or something, like the wall of text and like the team logo.
Mm-hmm. Looks like me.
You think it looks like you?
Do I have a bad picture? Or a good picture, I guess?
I don't.
Oh, that's worse.
Say maybe like a bro version of you. Yeah.
I guess you put a beard on a white guy. You have me.
But they put out this fucking awesome statement because he did it to one of the Rangers players, and so he took a cheap shot on him, and then he's down on the ice.
Cheap shots mean takes the ring right off my finger.
And then this dude was down on the ice already hurt, and then he started punching him in the head.
Okay.
So the Rangers put out, the official team's Twitter put out a statement from John Davison and the GM, I can't remember his name, and said that they are very disappointed in the NHL for the suspension, and that it was a whole wall of text. It was great, but it ended with they think he shouldn't be allowed in the league anymore, and you don't see that kind of stuff from official teams. So then the next day they both got fired. So I think it was because of them, and the NHL was like, "You're not putting this on an official team page."
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So
fuck it though. They'll get new jobs.
So everybody's like, "Oh, he's coming to Columbus," and I was like, "I mean, I want him to, but I don't know." But they hired him yesterday or today,
nice.
as it were.
W.
Yeah. So him and Jeremy Kekalainen are back together, and like I said, it seemed anticlimactic because it's not like a known player, or like the Blue Jackets are known for being a center. I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah, the center. It's a pretty important position, center.
So I feel
touches
like
the football in every play.
I feel like a lot of people, understandably, a lot of people just don't know what it is, which I get. But like a lot of Blue Jack fans know it, and they're just like, "Yeah, but we need this player." I'm like, this is how you get players like this: is getting names that are respected and well known.
Yeah, it's not all about the big name. It's about the process in the background. So it's Seattle does it great.
So I'm super pumped for that.
W.
And then the NHL playoffs are continuing. I won't go over every series, but I talked about the main ones I cared about were the Avalanche and the Hurricanes. They're both up 2-0 in both those series.
Were they the number one seeds that we talked about?
Yeah, they were. Okay. Yep. And that sounds like I'm being total bandwagoner. Like, I'm rooting for the number ones, but I've always been an Avalanche fan.
Yeah, I do know that actually.
Yeah, the Hurricanes you might not know, but they are definitely like a.
I would be just a root for the. Actually, I don't know what I'd be. One year I rooted for the Red Wings because they were really good and it was fun to watch. Some years I root for the people that are terrible.
Well, you might have fun watching the Avalanche. Something, like I said, I just don't talk back even though some things aren't arguable. Like last week, you're like, Nate McKinnon, I don't know who the fuck that is when you're talking about hockey. He's a Avalanche player. He's one of the best players in the league.
Okay.
And I wish I would have said that and explained it because like I said, that's not like a debate at all.
Yeah.
I just don't talk sometimes. But I wish I would have said it because in last game he scored a hat trick in the playoffs, which is 3 goals for one player.
Awesome. I knew that.
And the Avalanche and Hurricanes have dominated both their games and up 2-0 both series. I'm going to
their series.
Yeah, there's the best of 7.
I knew that. That's not just the finals. That's all playoffs.
Yep. Oh. That's why a lot of people argue that hockey's the hardest thing to win a championship in.
Okay.
Because obviously, like NFL, you get lucky and go on a streak or whatever. Not that you can't in hockey, but it takes a lot more luck because the series obviously evens out eventually.
I feel like it at least shows who the better team actually is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we played the Rams 10 times last year, we beat them 7.
Yeah.
And we just fucking got one of the days.
Be surprised, yeah.
That we got one of the 3. So.
Yeah. So can't ask much better for that. And
you're going to a game, you were about to say?
I want to. I'm going to St. Louis with my family anyways, and I realize it's Avalanche are playing St. Louis, and on Sunday they're in St. Louis, and that's where I'm going to be. So I don't know if it can make it work.
Nick's going.
Yeah.
Told me he can play Warzone. It was a big deal.
So I don't know if I should make it happen, and I'm with my family. We're going to do other stuff in St. Louis.
Fucking expensive.
I saw there was.
I wish you liked barbecue.
Yeah. Danielle was excited about that when we went to St. Louis, but I was like,
it's good. Pizza sucks.
That pizza's ass. Did you only talk about that?
We did. Okay. I just wanted to bring it up again.
No, you're good. I was just making sure so we could talk about it. But I don't know if I will go. The tickets actually weren't bad. I found some for $60.
Oh.
Because the reason I looked, I was like, St. Louis is down 2-0, so people might not be as excited now to go. I mean, I would if I was a Blues fan, but especially for them because they're known for being good.
Because of Oshie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm really hurt.
So I don't know if I'll make it to the game, but either way, it's exciting. And then all the other series, like I said, kind of just rooting against teams, so I don't really need to cover every series right now.
Okay. I might watch an Avalanche game.
Yeah, if it's anything like the first 2 games, it's super entertaining because just so.
That's all I like. If I don't give a fuck, I just want to see a team just fucking dominate.
Yeah, it's so fast.
That's why I liked the Red Wings.
So talented.
What season? It was like 2008 or something. They won the Stanley Cup and they just fucking crushed everything. It was awesome. Because I was with my buddy Danny Hamparian. I don't know if I should have said Mucho or his name, but they're all Detroit fans, Lions, Red Wings, and they were all watching the finals. I was like, fuck it. Go Red Wings. And it was fun.
Yeah. Well, we can do that at the Avalanche. We'll go to Colorado for that.
I won't do that, but I'll root for him with you.
The Hurricanes were rocking a full arena, and people fucking shoulder to shoulder.
Fuck it.
It looked awesome, though. It was so loud. And
I think Seattle's going full capacity.
Yeah, it's. I need to see more telling that it's inside because that's the biggest worry people have. Not the Seattle, I'm saying Hurricanes, obviously.
Yeah. I'm excited.
The weird thing is, it's not on the NHL to figure out, so I don't really know what there is to do, but also a lot of Canadian teams are in the NHL, and it's super unbalanced right now because some American teams have like half the arena, Hurricanes are rocking full, and then Canadian teams can have anybody in the arena. I'm like, that is such a difference maker, especially in the playoffs. We talked on the NFL when they're allowing like 10,000 fans or whatever. That's not really going to make that big of a difference. But
it made a huge difference. The Brown Stadium versus an empty stadium is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference, but I'm saying, like, compared to, like, a fucking not an empty seat and so much noise.
Yeah. I think the difference between 10,000 and full stadium is different, but I think 0 to 10,000 is pretty big, too.
So I think that's a weird thing that's happening right now is that Canadian teams are kind of fucked over by that and don't have anybody.
I wish
in
the
NFL arenas.
They should have just said nobody for any of it. Or 10,000 for everything.
Yeah.
I think if fans were in Seattle, it would have been different. I'm still butthurt about us losing to the Rams. That's why I keep bringing it up.
We can get into NFL now, though. I know we talked a good amount about other stuff.
Hey, I'm here for it now.
No. I
know some rookies signed their deals.
Yes.
Oh, Tim Tebow got signed.
That's right officially now.
Yeah, so he's competing for a spot. We already talked about that, so.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I got nothing.
You want to hear something crazy? I meant to talk about this when I was talking about the schedule prediction and how I said I might go to the Browns-Broncos game.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to mention I might go to the Broncos game in Denver against Cincinnati.
Ooh, really?
And
you gonna take your dad?
Yeah, and I'm closer to that step now because I bought tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Obviously, that's kind of the smallest part in a trip to Denver, so it might still not happen.
How much were they?
They were only $75. That's part of why I got them.
Fuck. I looked up, because I said I wanted to go to Pittsburgh, Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking $400 for nosebleeds.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why these are so cheap. That's why I jumped on it, because these are still, like, official tickets from Ticketmaster. It's not, like, an iffy thing
that's
or
all
whatever.
they are, yeah, right now.
And, well, I saw StubHub and all those have it. I just don't know if I trust.
Yeah,
I just don't know if I trust that, especially with the restrictions.
I think
teams might have.
Ticketmaster is like the official one of the NFL, right?
Yeah,
that's
they
all
are.
I've ever done.
Yeah. Other years I wouldn't be so against. I would be kind of worried, but right now, especially with the restrictions and all that shit, I don't get shut out.
No, $75. That's awesome.
Yeah, especially compared to every other game I looked at. The average price for the cheapest ticket was $170 for every Broncos home game. So I don't know what it was about that.
Bengals could be okay too, so that could be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. If it actually happens, we'll see. Like I said, that's the easiest part. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping the Steelers start sucking, so those tickets. But it's a Sunday night game. I can see why.
Yeah.
So now I got to look at the Colts game, week 1.
That's the issue. I told her I'm at the Browns game. They're already those cheaper tickets are gone now. The cheapest is $120, so they're already going up. It's early, so I'm not gonna.
They used to sell for $5.
I know. Yeah, I'm not gonna panic buy because that's
no,
early,
you just wait. Yeah, you'll get tickets for cheap.
So I just got 2 things to talk about the NFL.
Okay.
We talked about Aaron Rodgers a little bit. Where is he gonna end up? What do you think?
Green Bay, or retired.
Okay, well, this isn't going to be a debate then. That's why I thought, too, I think about the Broncos or the Raiders. I think...
No, he's going to throw a bitch fit. I think it's all a ploy at the GM. I think Aaron Rodgers is literally throwing a bitch fit because he drafted Jordan Love in the first round last year. I think it's too coincidental, the timing, that he's upset right during draft week. Maybe he puts out some bad press and he gets his GM in a little trouble. And I think he either is actually pissed and sits out, or he retires, or he plays. Those are the 3 options.
Do you see Adam Scheffler? I don't know if it's true. I don't really trust everything the guy says, but he said that he had that news for a long time, but sat on it until the day of the draft.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
That's what he said. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't either. That's the only thing I've heard of that. So I guess take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
All these rumors things you have to take with.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I could see that being like I'm gonna fuck with him a little bit, but I could also just see it that he's actually unhappy, and yeah, I think he's either just gonna suck it up and play, He's going to try to sit out. He's not getting traded. That's my big thing.
Yeah, I think those are two most likely scenarios. I think in order, I think it's Packers retirement, and then I don't think it's the Broncos. I think it's actually more like with the Raiders and then the Broncos.
You think the Raiders would give up stuff over Derek Carr?
I think so.
I haven't even heard him linked to the Raiders.
That's the other rumor is the Broncos and Raiders. The Broncos seems to be the higher one. But especially with John Gruden there, I think that he just fucking loves quarterbacks and he can get one of the best ones.
I could see that. But Mike Mayock is the GM of them.
Yeah.
I could see him not being in favor of it because he's so like analytical and
yeah.
Unless they were in like a win now window where Aaron Rodgers puts you over the top. Like I think the Broncos, you get Aaron Rodgers, you're in a incredibly favorable position. You're gonna have probably a top 8 defense. It could be better. Probably won't be worse. You have decent receivers still at this point. Your line is trash.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers is old. So maybe you bring Aaron Rodgers in. Maybe some free agents want to come over. I don't know. I feel like he'd have the most success in Denver.
I fucking hate the Raiders, but you don't think they would? I think they would be competitive with him. I think
they'd be competitive. I don't think they'd be in a better spot than the Broncos would be.
Oh, no, I don't think they're Broncos. I'm just saying,
I'm just saying between those two teams.
Yeah.
I think they'd be competitive, but I think the Broncos are a better all-around team. And Aaron Rodgers would make them better.
I got you.
What else? I had something else on the Aaron Rodgers thing. Oh. I was listening to a different podcast. And someone was like, what would you give up for Aaron Rodgers if you were Denver? And someone said, oh, 2 firsts. And the other guy was like, you're fucking crazy. You fucking... He's me. But as a Seahawks fan, which is still me, on a Seahawks podcast. This isn't a specifically Seahawks podcast. He's like, I'd give up a second and be pissed about it. Because he's fucking ancient. He has maybe 2 years. And then you fucking lose him. He's like, anything more than a third seems crazy at this point. And I was like, if you could get Aaron Rodgers for a third, you take that swing.
Yeah.
If you get him for a second, you take that swing.
Definitely. I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I said, that's why I'm not as high as other people and just think the Broncos got to do it because that is.
I don't even think a first would be involved.
You don't think so?
It would be. I agree. It'd be crazy to give up. Like the talent is nuts. But I mean, but you wouldn't want to throw in like Drew Lock or anything. Keep Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, give up a second, and a 7th of next year, and you get Aaron Rodgers for a year or 2.
Oh, if you get it for that, I'm okay with it. The rumors are multiple first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a position player, and that's what. No matter how good Aaron Rodgers is, and what that is, giving up a lot of potential.
You don't give that up for anybody. Patrick Mahomes. Russell Wilson. Even Russell Wilson's 33. That would be a lot for a 33-year-old. Aaron Rodgers is 38.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, I think he plays in Green Bay. Okay. And I think everything's fine. I think they go 13-4 and they go to the fucking NFC Championship game and lose it to Seattle. So, in Seattle.
Okay. You might have saw this.
I did. I keep looking down to start thinking about what's coming up.
Okay. So, did you see the whole stat? It's fucking crazy. I did not notice this.
I did.
Okay, well, I'll tell them just so they know. So, for the past, what would this be, 6 years, there's been a trend of the bye week. It started with week 9, and then every season, a team has won the Super Bowl has got the next week. So, 2016 was the Patriots, week 9. 2017, the Eagles, week 10. 2018, the fucking Patriots again, week 11. 2019, the Chiefs, week 12. 2020, the Buccaneers, week 13. So then this graph says 2021, week 14. And the teams that have bye weeks in week 14 are the Patriots, Dolphins, Eagles, and Colts. I'm not conspiracy theorist, and I don't think this is planned at all. That's just
weird thing.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
If it was a conspiracy, it'd be a longer list.
Yeah. I think it's fucking weird, but I don't know. There's no way I can continue, but also...
That streak's over, yeah.
If somebody showed me that at fucking, I don't know what year, I'm just saying that'd be the odds of that are slim. I would not taking that. I was going to say, well, yeah, obviously Patriots had a good chance, but still, it's slim no matter what team you put on there. And what's the most likely team out of those to win the Super Bowl, you think?
Then the Patriots, Dolphins, Eagles, Colts.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are very good, but they were a quarterback away and are still a quarterback away. I think Carson Wentz will be an upgrade, but I think he gives you some of the things that Phillip Rivers didn't have, but I think Phillip Rivers had a lot that Carson Wentz doesn't have. So not
kids.
Like kids. So I don't think it's the Colts. The Eagles aren't even happy with Jalen Hurts. So they're not going to do it. And they were terrible. The Dolphins are really good, but I also think they're a quarterback away. I don't think 2 is the answer. I could see the Patriots being really good this year.
God, I fucking better not be them.
I know, but out of that list, the Dolphins have an incredible defense, kind of a shit offense. The Eagles are just bad and got a receiver as their big guy. Like, Jalen Hurts is still bad. The Colts could be good. Probably will be really good. So I guess Colts, but I would trust Cam Newton or Carson Wentz. I would trust Belichick. Yeah, I would trust Belichick over whoever the fuck, Reich? Who's the Colts coach?
I don't know. I know it's not Chuck Pagano, but that's where my mind went. But it's not him anymore.
Is it Frank Reich?
That sounds right.
Fuck it, let's just say it's right. I don't know. Those are both really good coaches. I would trust Belichick, and they went fucking nuts in free agency. Like, spent the most by far. Got quality player after quality player. I think Mac Jones could be really good in that system if Cam Newton doesn't get healthy. Patriots. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I think out of those guys, it'd be the Patriots.
I don't think anything happen. I just think the Colts are the most likely. I think Patriots have
you could
a chance
convince
to be
me
really
of the
good.
Colts.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Carson Wentz.
I hear you. I don't think it'll be any of these teams either. And if it is, like I said, it's not a conspiracy theory, so I'm just going to feel fucking weirded out that really happens.
If one of these teams won the Super Bowl, that'd be weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I was already weirded out seeing this because I was like, what the fuck are the odds of that?
Yeah. Fucking Patriots, man.
That they're already on there twice. Yeah, we can't have them the third time.
That'd be the ultimate, like, coaching just thing to put Belichick on this crazy-ass pedestal. He's already on a crazy pedestal. Mm-hmm. But, like, we lost our guy who's arguably the best ever to do it. We had one down year. We're back in the Super Bowl, though, and we won it, so don't worry. That'd be crazy. I like Belichick, though. And I now feel for the Patriots. I shouldn't because they've had so much success. Fuck them. So I get that, too. But I like Belichick quite a bit.
Yeah, no, that's definitely where I'm at.
He's so fucking... We're on to Seattle. We're on to Kansas City.
That didn't get old to you. I'm just like, this is... I feel like it's a stick that he like tries to do. Everybody says it's so natural.
No, that's just who he is. Because I've seen... Well, he's not always like that either. I think that's the stuff that gets pushed the most. But he's fucking funny. There's some interviews where he is really funny. And witty. And he has a good sense of humor. I just think he's very, very good at football. So, I like Belichick.
I'd like to see him play football. That'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe he's not very good at football.
No,
he's good at...
Picture how funny that'd be.
He might be fucking incredible. Who knows? Pete Carroll was okay at football.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was a corner or a safety. Safety. Not good enough, obviously. He's 70 years old. 68, 70, 69, somewhere in there. Tackled one of the rookies and went for a fumble on the ground. Like, jumped on the ground with a guy with a football helmet and was jumping on the ground tackling 20-year-olds. That dude's going to coach till he's 100. He's going to die on a football field. I love Pete Carroll. He's a guy I might be, like, a little upset about. I bitch all the time after the season, like, Pete Carroll's got to go. But I would be pretty fucking sad if he actually went. He's been the best thing to Seattle ever. And probably will be for a long time. Him and John Schneider.
Owner of Papa John's.
Is his name John Schneider?
I think it's John Schneider, but it's close enough.
Yeah, John Schneider's the GM of the Papa John's and Seahawks now.
All right, anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Speaking of weird things, no one team has ever beaten all the bird teams in 1 year. And the Lions have the opportunity to do it this year. They play all the bird teams.
That's not going to happen then.
Definitely not. But they're the team with the opportunity this year. They play all the bird teams.
It'd be pretty funny. Another animal one takes it down. The lion takes down all the birds.
Yeah, that would be weird. I think that's the stat. They've never beaten all. Yeah, that's definitely it. Because there's like 6 of them, 5 of them. I don't know. But they play all.
That's weird.
So that's another weird stat.
Yeah.
That there's even been enough teams to play all the bird teams in the season to even compile that stat.
It's just make the divisions like that. The bird division.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't want that. Ravens, Cardinals,
all over geography or geographically.
Eagles. Who are all the bird teams? Seattle, Eagles, Ravens, Cardinals.
Is there any more? That's all I can say in my head. Obviously, could be more.
Falcons.
Oh, I thought you said that one. Damn it, I listed that. Probably should search birds as the teams.
Bird teams.
So
That's my guess. There's 5.
yeah, that's all I'm seeing.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about for a guy here? Besides your birds?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
Hour 44. Not bad. Quack,
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 quack, quack, quack, quack.
Go
Go
Broncos.
Hawks.